Cambridge City Council now be in session. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Conaway.
Here.
Evancho.
Here.
Loffman.
Here.
Leonard.
Here.
Marlin.
Here.
McMillan.
Here.
Wolverton.
Mr. Marlin
I make a motion we can excuse Councilman Wolverton.
and Mr. Conway.
Second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion is granted. Reading of the minutes, Mr. Marlin,
Make a motion we dispense with the reading of the minutes and place on file.
Ms. McMillan.
Second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion is granted. Mayor Orr, Mayor's report.
I got to get in that microphone like Jack does. All right. I just want to try.
No, you don't.
Well, maybe I do. My voice
do
a little,
just fine.
It's a long story. That's it. Enough of that. Well, in front of you now, we got a little bit of everything. Number one on the list, Cemetery Foreman James Green requests to build the new section of 120 niches at Northwood Cemetery and establish rates. If you remember a while back, that's some of the spinoff from doing a little work in the woods there, so we can keep working on some stuff. Number two, Police Chief Mark Delancey requests the following. A, appropriate the cruiser rental check of $160 from NP Dory to the vehicle maintenance line item. B, to accept and appropriate the last drawdown of $546 of our grant for the Citizens Police Academy to the police equipment line item. 3, Code Enforcement Officer Kim Conrath requests to appropriate $531 to the Services by Contract line item. 4, City Engineer Jeff McConaughey requests the following. A, to apply for and enter into agreement for Ohio Public Works Commission for Issue 1 funding for the Clark Street Road Reconstruction Project. B, to bid and enter into contract for Clark Street Waterline Replacement Project. C, to enter into contract to purchase permanent right-of-way for the Clark Street Road Reconstruction Project. And D, to enter into contract to purchase temporary right-of-way for the Clark Street Road Reconstruction Project.
And all those requests will be sent to the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Council President. I have a few little notes here. I'm probably going to miss one. There's been so much going on these last few weeks. Of course, Jurassic came and went, had a record crowd, and a lot of visitors in town. That was good to see through the hotels and stuff like that. Salt Fork Festival last weekend, for those that attended, might have been one of the best crowds I'd seen there in quite a while. Friday night kind of put a little damper on things a little bit, but Saturday came back with a vengeance. Had a lot of vendors doing a lot of good things up there. It was just good to see in our park, and a lot of people, baby strollers, and walking around, and visitors from out of town, a couple class reunions. Water breaks, I think a couple weeks ago we had a little overview on that. Let me double hands on this. Knock on woods twice, 3 weekends in a row, no blowouts. That's in the water anyhow. And so the bottom line is we're talking patching holes, which, like today, just so you know how our days go, they were making rubberized blacktop for the interstate, so we couldn't patch holes today. So we don't know what they'll be doing tomorrow, so we have to wait, and that's kind of how that can gets kicked every once in a while. So every time you hit a little gravel, it's on top of a hole. Remember what I told you. But we're working on that. And Columbia Gas is running very aggressively through town. So on top of where we've decided to cut, they cut some things. Although they have their old stuff in-house, and they get that blacktop a little quicker sometimes, but other times they surprise us with other things. But anyhow, it's good. It's all good. Tear downs. I think our first of 3 from the money that you guys allotted the administration. We were able to negotiate for 3. We've got the 1 down, and we've got 2 more scheduled. The crew that's tearing that down through the land bank, we're running both at the same time, and they were in the town of Fairview in the land bank. They're coming back to Cambridge. I think they're heading maybe toward Grant Avenue, or 5th Street's on the list too. But anyhow, that's a work in progress, but you'll see some more backhoes there. Street pavement by contract. I think I was asked that a little bit ago. I was looking at that this morning. I believe that that crew is acting like they may show up at the end of August for our in-house paving that you were asking about, Councilman Marlin. Now, just so you know, even though it says it on the contract, and they may call up and say they're thinking about it, they have a couple months to exercise that. It could still be in October. I doubt if it'll be. The engineer tells me he expects them to move pretty early on this. So I don't know what we're basing what on, but that's what I've been told. School is just about ready to fire up here. I think some of the test runs on the buses and different things. The viaduct is heavy under construction. They're working very diligently over there. I think some of the sidewalls are supposed to be poured, I think, in the next 2 days. What does that mean? You still can't use the bridge, and it's not supposed to open up until September 30th. But that'll force, and as you've seen on occasion, coming across Jefferson Avenue, coming up Southgate Parkway into town, gets a little interesting a few times. Tomorrow, the city is going to be doing our thing at the Law Enforcement Center. We're going to be pouring the concrete and dumping and working hard on that outside exterior wall. So that's going to cause a lot of motion up in that area, which contributes with the cones and such. But that's going to be busy, 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 to say the least. So if you can avoid that area, try it. We did get, I've got official documentation, and of course, Congressman Bill Johnson's already all over it. We were honored to be at Tree City, USA again. No matter, even though we got a black mark for the city or on the woods a little bit, we've planted enough trees and other way to get back, but we still got our plan up our sleeve for that forest, so hang in there. But anyhow, Tree City, USA for Cambridge 2017 again. So the beat goes on, very proud of that. And last but not least, I'm sure most of you's heard it through the media, but in October we'll be on the cover of Best Hometown in Ohio Magazine. So, you know, when you read stuff like this, that's something. That's really, really is something. They came in and went around to all the different activities from, well, it was Kennedy's Bakery and Wally's Pizza to Seneca Lake, Salt Fork, the downtown, the city park, the pool, the libraries, just a lot of activities we have, Main Street's had. It was just really, really awesome to see some of the comments they made. And not every small town with 11,500 people can get into all that. So I think that's pretty much all I have, Council President, if there's any questions.
Any questions of the minister, Ms. McMillan?
Mayor, can you tell me, I was just asked this over the weekend and I couldn't answer it, the section of Turner Avenue that's closed, where are we at with that, or what's going on with that?
I'm so thankful you asked that, because I would like to say something about that. Make a long story short, B goes on trying to get that repaired. The owner has contacted at least two contractors for bids, has got one in hand. He's trying to work through our department downstairs for a little bit of help matching with the grant. My understanding, we were having a little trouble getting a signature on some piece of paper. That was late last week. I've asked two of my people that track that to push it, because we got to get that seriously opened up. I'm slightly over it myself, but safety has to be number one. And unfortunately, it is what it is right now, as I've been told by my service director and my safety director sometimes. But we're working. And unfortunately, with the other roads being bottled up, that makes it that much more difficult. If you do come in, like through the back alley there, you can still do a little bit of a jog. I don't recommend that's a highly traveled way, but you can make your way on both sides of Turner.
Well, right, and I knew that. And
Yeah, but I have had some calls on that, which I expected.
okay,
As far as a definitive answer when it's going to be fixed, I cannot give you, but we are definitely leaning on the individual.
very good, thank you.
Thanks for asking.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks.
We'll move on to communications.
I have a request to the council from the city auditor. We are heading in towards the end of the year, so she has some transfers and appropriations just to clean up some line items that she needs to have considered.
Mr. Vancho,
Motion to refer to Finance Committee?
Mr. Loftman.
Second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign, that motion's granted. Next, please.
Also have a request to the council from the municipal court asking for transfers as well. She's asking for two separate transfers. One is necessary due to an internal shift of position titles and salaries, which will now be subject to reimbursement from Guernsey County. Additionally, this transfer will make sufficient funds available in the court's Special Projects Fund to pay for replacement of building security cameras.
Mr. Moreland?
Motion to give that to finance.
Mr. Vancho?
I'll second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion's granted. Next, please.
Request from Chief Deeks asking for permission to apply for the 2018 Assistance to Firefighters Grant for SCBA's, which are air packs, and replacement of fire hose.
Mr. Loffman?
Motion to refer to finance.
Mr. Conaway?
Second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion's granted. Next, please.
I have the Park Board minutes from the July 11th meeting.
Mr. Moreland?
Make a motion we accept and place on file.
Ms. McMillan?
Second the motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, that motion's granted. Okay, we'll go to reports of committees.
Report of Finance Committee, August the 6th. We recommend that the following transfers and appropriations be approved. Appropriate $40,000 to CHIP CDBG rehab. Transfer $5,000 from General Fund miscellaneous refunds to Public Lands and Buildings refuse. Appropriate $7,359.20 to Code Enforcement Services by contract.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, August the 6th. We recommend that council authorize the mayor to sign standard assurances, grant documents for the FAA grant for light poles number 3 and number 4 for the Cambridge Area Regional Airport Authority. Signature by the mayor is pending approval by the city law director of these documents. And I can let you know that the day after your meeting, the secretary to the airport authority came to the office, and the grant appeared that day. So she took it to the law director that day. He has already looked at it and approved it, so everything's ready to go once you get the ordinance passed tonight.
Any questions of the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of City Services Committee, August the 6th. We recommend that council authorize IAFF Local 910 permission to solicit funds for the Muscular Dystrophy Association on Friday, August 31st, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Said permission is given for the intersection of Southgate Parkway and Wheeling Avenue.
Any questions on that report? Next, please.
Report of City Services Committee, August the 6th. We recommend that council authorize Grace Pantry permission to solicit monetary and food donations on Friday, August 17th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Said permission is given for the intersection at Southgate Parkway and Wheeling Avenue. Council further authorizes that Grace Pantry truck be authorized to park on Southgate Parkway past the 2-hour limit for this day only.
Any questions on that report? Okay, we'll move on to unfinished business. Anybody have anything under unfinished business? We'll go to the audience portion. If there's anybody in the audience that wishes to approach council, they may do so at this time. Is there anybody besides our special guests?
No, she's not on there tonight.
You can.
I will go, Patrick.
Okay, when you do, please state your name and your address. And there is a 5-minute limitation.
Thank you. My name is Christine Fallergeist. My address is 2720 Village Drive, Zanesville, Ohio. And I'm here today because I want to introduce myself to the council members. I will be running for state representative for our district in the upcoming November elections. And I wanted to make myself available to you. I've given my cards to Sharon, who's behind the the little column there, and she can get those to you, because I want to make sure that I'm available to be for you if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, things you want to see in a representative, or just share with me the great things that are happening here in Cambridge, Ohio. Finally, I wanted to become, I'm here and visiting with all the city councils because I want to become more aware of what's happening in your cities, but also become more encompassed in the different going-ons here in Cambridge. And actually, I said finally, but that's not true. I also wanted to invite you all to a square dance that we're going to be having. It's a little-known fact that I am also I sing in a swing band, and I'm a square dance caller, and we are going to be having a square dance in Cambridge City Park on August 24th from 6 to 8. This is not a fundraising anything. This is about building community, bringing people together, getting people talking about what's working in their community. I feel we have a real disconnect right now in our two counties, and so you guys are welcome to come. It's going to be a potluck and a square dance. Thank you so much. I have to say, you guys are the most fun city council I've got to visit. You have a good time. Everybody's smiling. It can get kind of hairy in some of the different villages, so I appreciate your levity, but also your professionalism. If there are any questions, you all have my card now, and I'm happy to take not only concerns, but what you think really is working in your city and what you think can be continued on that way. And then you also have an invitation. Are there any questions right now?
Any questions? Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Anything under new business? Mr. Loffman.
Yeah, it's been brought to my attention that Cambridge City Council is currently under the minimum state requirements to qualify for a full year of PERS credit, and I'd like to send that issue to the Finance Committee to discuss.
Okay, is there a second to the motion? Ms. McMillan?
I'll second that motion.
Okay, discussion? Okay. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion's carried. Ms. Gasko.
Mr. President, I would normally do this under miscellaneous, but since we have more important business to take care of under miscellaneous, I wanted to take this opportunity to just remind our residents and ask the media for your help on this. Over the weekend, I was visited by a couple of young guys that were doing door-to-door solicitations, and they knocked on the wrong door because when they found out I worked for the city and they didn't have the appropriate paperwork, they kind of wanted to argue with me a little bit. And so I gave them all of the information that they needed to come and see the mayor's office and get a permit so that they could be legal while they're doing their door-to-door solicitation. So just a reminder to our residents, if somebody knocks on your door and claims they are with a utility company, AEP, Spectrum, Columbia Gas, any of those types of things, they do need to be registered with the mayor's office and have proof of licensing cards. And it is your right as a resident to ask them to prove that and show it to you. So please make sure that you do that. I get calls in my office. I know the mayor's office, the mayor's secretary gets calls as well. And we just want to ensure our residents that if there's someone knocking at your door, they've registered with us and they're legal. So please just remember to ask them for that.
Okay, thank you. I guess we'll move on to ordinances and resolutions.
An ordinance of transfers and appropriations.
Ms. McMillan?
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Evancho?
Second the motion.
Roll call on the suspension.
Evancho.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Mr. Loffman?
Motion to pass.
Mr. Conaway?
Second to pass.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
McMillan.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
That ordinance is declared adopted. Next one, please.
An ordinance issuing permit to IAFF Local 910.
Mr. Marlin?
Motion to suspend?
Mr. Leonard?
Second.
Roll call on the suspension.
Marlin.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Mr. Conaway?
Motion to pass.
Mr. Loffman?
Second to pass.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Leonard.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Next one, please.
An ordinance issuing permit to Grace Pantry.
Mr. Marlin?
Motion to suspend?
Mr. Evancho?
Second the motion.
Roll call on the suspension, please.
Loffman.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
Mr. Leonard?
Motion to pass.
And Mr. Conaway?
Second to pass.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Conaway.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Loffman.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
That ordinance is declared adopted. Next one, please.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to sign documents for the FAA grant for the Airport Authority and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Vancho.
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Marlin.
Second to suspend?
Roll call on the suspension, please.
Evancho.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Mr. Conaway.
Motion to pass.
Ms. McMillan.
Second to pass.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
McMillan.
Yes.
Marlin.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Conaway.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Okay, we're going to move on to miscellaneous, and we do have a little special event here tonight. We have been blessed with having the current Miss Ohio, is actually a member of our community here in Cambridge. It's Maddie Lynn Chrisman, and to say the least, we're very proud. But we've kind of put it together a little bit of a deal tonight to recognize her for her accomplishment and kind of wish her well as she moves on. And what we're going to do, if Maddie, if you'd like to come to the microphone. We're going to start with a resolution from City Council, and I'll have my clerk read that.
A resolution recognizing Maddie Lynn Chrisman, Miss Ohio 2018. Whereas Maddie Lynn Chrisman is a native of Cambridge, Ohio, and graduated from Cambridge High School in May of 2014. And whereas Maddie Lynn attended Kent State University and graduated in May of 2018 with a bachelor's degree in public communications and musical theater. And whereas while in high school, Maddie was the captain of the dance team, president of student council and the drama club, varsity cheerleader, and was a member of the ECI class that did the morning news show. And whereas at Kent State, Maddie was the producer of Vibe, an active member of KSU's professional fraternity Alpha Psi Omega, vice president and choreographer of the Kent Clarks. And whereas Maddie Lynn is a USA Mental Health First Aid trained responder and an active member of the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention Ohio chapter. And whereas on June 16, 2018, Maddie Lynn Chrisman competed with 20 other young ladies from around Ohio for the crown of Miss Ohio. As part of the week-long competition, Maddie received the Spirit of Moana Award, an award selected by the other contestants, an award presented by the members of the crew for Miss Ohio, as well as the award for Best Talent. The culmination of the competition was held on Saturday evening, June 16th, at the Renaissance Theater in downtown Mansfield, where Maddie Lynn Chrisman was named Miss Ohio 2018. That chokes me up, sweetie. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Cambridge, County of Guernsey, State of Ohio, and on behalf of all the residents of Cambridge, we do hereby congratulate, commend, and extend our best wishes to Maddie Lynn Chrisman, Miss Ohio, at the Miss America pageant in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Yay.
You want to come on up, Maddie?
Yeah.
There's a resolution.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Okay, Mayor Orr, I believe you have a little presentation as well.
Actually, stand right here because you're going to have a long
Okay.
evening. You got all kinds of stuff. I'm sitting there thinking, is there a little kid and time gets to flying by pretty quick, and I look over here and Heath, what are you doing? He's somewhere in the middle of this, just refereeing us. Okay. Well, anyhow, Sharon and council is absolutely correct. From the office of the mayor, we have a proclamation prepared also. As you read down through here, whereas Maddie Lynn Chrisman of Cambridge, Ohio, in 2014 graduate of Cambridge High School, where she excelled in dance, cheerleading, drama club, and student council. Whereas Maddie Lynn is a recent graduate of Kent State University, bachelor's degree in fine arts, musical theater, and bachelor arts degree in public communication. And whereas while attending KSU, Maddie Lynn served as a producer of Vibe, Sounds familiar, Sharon. And a vice president and well, whatever that was, it was good. And a Capella group, thank you, stick with me here. And the Kent, yeah. Bottom line is, this is awful fancy doings, it's an incredible accomplishment, and I'm the mayor, and I'm telling you, it's right here documented. I set my hand to it. You kick butt and take it all away.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Take a picture of you. There you go. When's the last time you stood with Miss America? That's it.
Oh, wait.
That's why we're doing this, we're warming up.
Awesome, thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
wait a minute, I think there's some others.
Yep, there's some more.
I'd like to next call on Representative Brian Hill.
Thank you for this opportunity. Miss Ohio, Cambridge, Ohio. Wow. You are invited if they haven't got a hold of you. Hometown, right. Best hometown. That's right. All fits today, doesn't it, Mayor? Anyway, you will be invited to the Ohio House, where we do have a resolution we will present on the House floor, which is special. Your name will be inscribed into the books, and for that day, and the honor of being there and to represent not only Cambridge, but all of Ohio. So we're so proud of you. Again, coming from hometown, Cambridge, Ohio, this is great, and as state representative, I'm just really proud of this moment, proud of her and her family for what they've did and supporting her because she didn't get here on her own, and I'm sure she recognizes that. So anyway, congratulations. We'll see you in Columbus here this fall.
Great, thank you so much.
Are you going to put them in?
Thank you.
And last and certainly not least, from Congressman Bill Johnson's office, we are represented by Ashley Carlin. Ashley?
Hi, Maddie. I will be brief. I'm sure you're sick of this by now. But on behalf of Congressman Johnson, I just wanted to say congratulations. He's prepared a proclamation, so I'll read that for you real quick. It says, on behalf of the people of Ohio's 6th Congressional District, I am honored to recognize Maddie Lynn Chrisman for winning the 2018 Miss Ohio competition. Congratulations. Through hard work and dedication, Miss Chrisman was able to win the statewide competition and advance to the Miss America pageant. Her interest in helping those suffering from mental health issues is very encouraging, and the work she is doing on behalf of those struggling with these issues is invaluable. It fills me with pride when young people from our region take the initiative and work to lift up others. Maddie Lynn is setting a great example with her work, especially for the many young women who look up to her. Thus, with great pride, I congratulate Maddie Lynn for being crowned Miss Ohio. I wish her luck in all of her future endeavors and send her best wishes as she prepares to compete and represent Ohio in the 2018 Miss America pageant. Signed on this day, the 13th of August, Congressman Bill Johnson. Congratulations. Thank you.
Speech.
Yeah, I'm going to call on Sharon Kassler, our clerk and personal friend, to introduce Maddie, our guest of honor.
Well, there's so much that I could say about this little girl, but if
Please
I
don't
do,
make me cry.
if I do, I'll cry. I've had the privilege of watching her grow since they started coming to our church many years ago, and Maddie was in our youth group. She was in our young girls Bible study, and it's just been a joy to watch her blossom into this beautiful young lady that's standing before us tonight. I'm so proud of her, and Ashley, you hit the nail on the head. She's worked very, very hard at this. And I remember having a conversation with Maddie a long time ago about God giving us the desires of our heart. And sometimes it's hard to take when our desire doesn't always match up with His will. But Maddie stuck with it and stayed in communication with God to make sure she was in line with what He wanted her to do. And she proceeded and was very successful. So I know she's got a few words to share with us tonight. So it gives me great honor and pleasure to introduce Maddie Lynn Chrisman, Miss Ohio 2018.
Thank you. Thank you you so very much for having me and for all of this. I was not expecting that at all. I know this pole's in the way. You gotta kind of maneuver around it. I like it. It's all right. I'm very honored to be here. Not somewhere that I thought I was ever going to make it to, but here I am. And not only do I get to represent the town that I love, but I get to represent the state that I love, and possibly the potential of the country that I love. So it's pretty great, pretty crazy. I competed with 19 other miraculous women, just incredible women that were so kind and so strong and so intelligent and so beautiful. And it was a true honor to not only get the approval of them when they gave me the Spirit Award, but to also get to be the representative of them as well. Throughout my journey, throughout my year as Miss Ohio, I will be promoting my personal platform, which is pain isn't always obvious, and it's mental health awareness and suicide prevention. Unfortunately, over 44,000 people in the United States die by suicide every single year, and suicide is 100% preventable, and a lot of people don't really take the time to consider, recognize, and deal with that. 1 in 5 Americans will deal with a mental illness, and that makes sense because 90% of the people who die by suicide have a diagnosable mental illness. So if there's anything that I could ask of you guys, it would be to keep your hearts open to people like that and to let them know that God loves them and you love them, and they can have the support and the strength that they need to push forward, and that suicide is a permanent solution to a very temporary problem. So thank you so much for having me. I'm very, very honored to be here. You guys have been amazing. Thank you.
Before you leave, I want my picture opportunity.
Absolutely. Not a problem. Not a problem. For sure. We can do that.
Wear the tiara.
But I look so good in one. Yeah, that's just special, so congratulations again and good luck. Mr. Vancho, under miscellaneous.
Yes, Finance Committee will meet next Monday, August 20th at 4:30 PM.
Okay, that's all we have, correct?
Yes.
All right. Anything else under miscellaneous? Mr. Leonard?
I always have something. All right, coming up this weekend, Cambridge Main Street will be hosting their 33rd annual Cruise In Car Show, sponsored by Dunning Ford, this weekend, Saturday, August 18th, on Wheeling Avenue downtown from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you have any questions at all concerning this venue, you can call 439-2238. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? If not, Mr. Marlin?
Before we adjourn, I want to kind of tag on to what he said. My wife will be having a root beer float stand. Going to be probably benefiting the county, the Children Advocacy Center through the Guernsey County Prosecutor. So I just have to get Mama in there. But anyway, with that said, I make a motion we adjourn.
Is there a dry run for this tonight, or?
No, not a dry run.
All right, we are adjourned. Thanks.